Today is October 18th, 2016, and I've called up to Juan Naharian, yet in another airport. Where are you going today?
Hey, Andrew.
What's up? I hear that announcement coming over the loudspeaker. Where are you going?
I am heading home.
Good.
Flew out this morning. Yeah, flew out this morning. In fact, I'm going to need to put the phone down for half a sec because I flew out private this morning on a nice G4
Nice.
and did some business with a couple of the guys on board. It was great. And then I'm getting on this one after the halftime report, and I'll tell you a little bit about a couple of the great guests we had on there in just a sec.
All right.
So I'll let you talk for a
You're
sec, Andrew, while I run my phone through here.
All right.
Because I'm flying back regular.
Okay. So John's slumming it right now. He's
Slumming it on first class.
slumming it in first class. I know. I hate. I just took American Airlines for the first time in like forever, it seems, and I got my baggage. I'm group 3 and 4, and once you get to group 3 and 4, they grab your bag and then they put it in check-in. So it's kind of like the even yet another class. I'm thinking to myself, if I was traveling with you, I'd be sitting in first class and kicking it like Tybo. Speaking of...
Maybe you would. It's, knock on wood, if you fly as much as I do, Andrew, they do tend to take care of you. And
Yeah, I know.
I appreciate that. So Americans, always nice to me.
They know why you fly. Speaking of...
That's right. We know why you fly.
Speaking of, we know why you fly and making up. What's with AVP today? I mean, we've seen this name hit a zillion times, Avon. What's going on with this thing today?
Huge upside call activity. I think it's mostly at the Nov 7 strike, Andrew, but
Yeah.
it's a lot, and it's aggressive. And it's been there, 18, 19,000 of those. So pretty big, and, it certainly looks like we're seeing some very active folks.
Oh,
betting.
those sevens. It looks like there's 20,000. But we've been down to this rodeo a zillion times. It's, you know what else it reminds me of that there's always a lot of activity on? Goodyear tires. GT.
Yep.
It's one of- you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I do. I bought some cheap call spreads in here in Avon. Gave myself a lot of time to be right. But I'll tell you the one I like to lot in, Starbucks. SBUX. Yeah.
What are you seeing there?
With that one, yeah, they're buying calls in there aggressively, and it's not a stock that's been outperforming. They're down like 5% this year. So that's another reason I kind of, people might go fishing at the end of the year, and these are D55s, these double nickels that they're buying.
I love that, the doubles. I like Starbucks. It is a roundabout thing just because so many people go in when it starts getting colder, and they come out with those holiday cups. Everybody wants a holiday cup. Remember they defaced those last year because they took off Merry Christmas on them? And then somebody turned the Starbucks lady into Satan. It's actually kind of funny. I don't know if that was funny because
into Satan, huh?
Well, yeah, everybody's writing their own version of Merry Christmas on their cups. But aside from that, people do go in when it gets colder, and then you get the whatever pumpkin spice now, and then who knows, ginger spice or scary spice coming up. One of the Spice Girls. But they do. So you're seeing them out where in December, the December doubles.
Yeah, December double nickels,
I love it.
55s.
Okay.
So, and, we had Mark Lazary and Jamie Dinan, not Diamond from J.P. Morgan, but Dinan. And they were on halftime with us today, and they did a great job. A couple guys that have really done well for their investors buying distressed debt. And I would highly recommend anybody pulls up some halftime footage from today. Take a look at that.
What are they saying about distressed debt?
Well, they're always buying, the one that's going to be first in line on the debt, the senior debt, not the ones that are going to get crammed down. So always make sure that you don't just say, yeah, I heard I should buy this debt. No, buy this most senior you can get so that you're not the guy having, to give up all your rights and perhaps lose most of your investment.
That's a big boy. That's a big boy trade, my friend.
Yes, it is.
That's guys, they have
not
to
for
sit.
Everybody.
When I worked on the bond floor, we used to have a guy that used to that's all he did was read reports and then identify which county or which city and state down in Texas, which ones would default, which ones wouldn't, and who had the best record. The guy was good, but he spent a lot of time in the back of that floor just reading different, he was good. It's not for everybody. But
no, I agree.
On to the next one. We talked about Microsoft yesterday. Kachinga.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It made a nice little pop today. And I'm still in there, and obviously it's still an earnings play for next week or whatever. But you know what else, Andrew? Didn't last week when you and I were doing a podcast, didn't we talk about Tenet Health, THC?
Yeah, THC.
I know we talked about it on Fast. I think we might have done a podcast.
Yeah, we did.
As well.
We talked about it. Sure.
Take a look at that one today. It's having a big pop, and I have about half my position will come off this week because I'm in October expiry call spreads, but that's already been a great ride. Love that.
And last but not least, we have RAD. We talked about RAD.
Oh, yeah.
I was, you know what, I did some just because it was cheap enough. It was like $6, $6.95, and I think after you talked about it on air, it went up to like $7.10 or whatever. Now it's like hovering $7. It hasn't dropped down below that price, but I held on to it, and that's a longer one. You still have yours?
Yes, sir. Still got RAD. Still got a bunch of it. In fact, not as much as I've got Tenet, but still believe in them both. And yeah, and that one, like you say, Andrew, we have more time with that trade, so the decay is going to be nil in those options.
Yeah, you did the options. I think they were out till next year, like, what is it, March?
March, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, March. I just bought the stock because I don't want the wasting asset of an option. So I'm just going to hold on.
There's a lot of folks that probably listen to the podcast that do the same. They're not as comfortable with the options, so they trade the stock. And that's, I think either idea works.
Yeah, and they're all just ideas. You can get in at your leisure. You can get out at your leisure. So you're going to come into the office tomorrow? Or you're going to make an appearance?
No, I'm back out here tomorrow. I'm just coming home to Chicago to see my daughter Finn play some volleyball tonight. And then I'll have a dinner with another client and be back out here tomorrow morning first light.
You need a G4. You need to get your own plane.
There you go.
Well, all right. Then we'll do the podcast.
Loaded or yeah. Well, we'll have a podcast tomorrow, though.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. So subscribe at YouTube or iTunes, folks, and tell your friends about it.
All right, man. Take care.
See you, Andrew.